You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content this morning, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender.
Welcome back.
What a great show.
Welcome back, Todd Halterman.
Man, I love that show.
Isn't that a great show?
Oh, it just takes you back to being 12.
Yeah, and guess what? So I don't want to cause any trouble, but it also tells us an age definition, because I have had several people on the broadcast that didn't even know what the heck it was. So it just tells that you are as old as me, because when I asked our producer Josh to go and clip that for us, I think he thought I might have been nuts. Well, you might think I'm nuts most of the time, but that's a different issue.
No,
Hey, to
man,
remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. National Ride the Wind Day. I don't even know what that means. So we're going to move right along, because there are a couple good ones that are celebrations for today. And I might have to ask you to help me with one of them, because I don't know where to go anymore. So today is National Cuban Sandwich Day. And if you've never had, I go to a little restaurant right here in Anaheim, Placentia area, and they make a great Cubano sandwich. And I'll tell you something, it is tremendous. So you throw a little bit of ham, a little bit of roast pork, Swiss cheese, pickles, mustard on Cuban bread. It's, it's not, my cardiologist probably is not excited about it, but, you know, it's good. It is good. And you top that off, today is also National Sponge Cake Day. Now, I don't know so much about the sponge cake, but if you throw some strawberries and Cool Whip on top, now, just how do you go wrong with that one? So I just throw those out there because we are celebrating today, as we do every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Should we celebrate the markets today? I don't know. I haven't looked at them in the last couple of hours, but you know something, if you're working a plan, does the market, what the market's doing at any given minute really matter? I just say the idea here is, if you're not working a plan, well, shame on you. But if you're working a plan, the Dow Jones Industrial Average being up 280 points, probably meaningful to you. If you're working a plan, the S&P 500 up 44.87, NASDAQ up 220 points. Oil's up $3.36 a barrel. I did get I went and had to fill up my car on Friday, and then I filled it up again on Sunday. Yes, I did do a little bit of driving over the weekend. And gas prices here in Southern California did drop between the 2 days. So I dropped about 6 cents a gallon at my favorite Costco station. But as I like to do all the time, our dedicated and spectacular underwriter, Lori, $2.82 a gallon in Louisiana. That's what she is paying. And our producer, Josh, $4.05 a gallon. That's the average in Nevada. Being that, Todd, you in Idaho today? You in Washington? Where are you at?
I'm in Washington State today, Ron.
Washington State, $3.91 a gallon. So you're doing better than we are here in Southern California, because right now, can you imagine this? We are at $4.39 a gallon.
Ow!
$4.39 a gallon. The national average, $3.16.
Hello, inflation.
Say that again?
Hello, inflation.
Yeah, well, inflation, public policy, it's just kind of, we're in California. We like to tax anything that doesn't move, and if it does move, then we have to charge rent for it. No, we don't charge rent in California. Anybody that has a pulse doesn't have to pay rent in California. I don't know why there's anybody in California that's homeless right now. Right? I mean, does it make sense to be homeless in California when the state has basically said you can live rent-free? Now, we're not exactly sure when that's going to stop, but we're in California, so who knows when if it'll stop. We'll see what happens. Let's see what else is going on in the news that might be important. Well, we know that Afghanistan and what's going on in the Middle East, that's having an impact on our oil prices, so we'll see what happens there. And we know that everything is going exactly as planned. If you've been watching the news at all, some people do. Everything is going exactly as planned in Afghanistan. I guess the Biden-Harris administration planned for chaos. They planned for this military conflict. They planned for people to be stranded. That was their plan. They're telling us that was their plan. I mean, they said that it's going exactly as they had planned. Maybe some of the military people, they didn't quite plan it this way, but the administration says it's going as planned, and nothing could have changed that. This morning, FDA gave us full approval on the COVID vaccine. I saw a report that is not being published that there are more and more people that got the Moderna vaccine, especially the young males, having an issue with enlarged heart. That doesn't sound too exciting. That's part of the Moderna vaccine. Let's see what else is going. Well, the ratings on the Cannabis News Network and MSNB Hee-Haw, those are dropping. Does that surprise anybody? We've been telling you that. Surprise. So that's not Florida. Yeah, well, let's see what happens to the school districts in Florida. That's going to be an interesting one, because I think there's now 7 or 8 school districts that are going with a mask mandate against the mandate of the governor there. Yeah, well, that might not be a good idea, because the governor has the purse strings, and he says you're going to lose some money starting today if you're not following the rules. And I could tell you this. I don't know if you've come across this or not, but, it's a very well, you probably haven't come across this part. Very, very common for people that do a lot of radio, that are radio hosts, radio DJs. I'm not a DJ, but I do host a little show every morning. And we've got about 3,000 of them in our archives. You can see that Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. There's about 3,000 shows there. Very common for hearing challenges. It's a side effect of doing a lot of radio. Maybe it's because you've got stuff plugged into your ears, and maybe you've got people talking to you in multiple directions at different times. But I've noticed twice, I was out a couple times over the weekend, and it's much easier. I didn't realize that how much I have to lip read, right? So, you kind of got used to not being able to hear anybody, and sometimes that's good when you're at home and you're only with your wife. I shouldn't say that, because she might be listening, right? But here's the issue, is when you go out to a place and you're trying to hear, it's loud, and you're trying to lip read, and they've got a mask on. Or they have a extra thick mask, and you can't hear a word they're saying. Now, I've got some really cool masks here. Our company came out with some really, really cool masks. I keep them right here just in case. I don't know if you can see it. It says, it's probably can't be seen. It says, "Be a good human." Love those masks. They're pretty cool. But I just throw that out there. What happens to the kids? Are they having challenge? Are they going to have challenges learning in school when they can't see the person that's speaking to them? They can't see their mouth. They can't see facial expressions. Right? I share a lot that we do a lot of our communication by video. And when we do this communication by video, Alex is here. Nice to see you, Alex. Haven't seen you in a while. So we do a lot of our communication by video. Why? Because that way people can see us. And I have our face for radio, but they might be able to get a better idea of emotion, expression. Have you ever said something in jest and caused a big problem because you were texting it or emailing? That's because you can't tell emotion in a text, right? You can't tell if one's joking in a text. That's hard to do. I know you can put that dumb LOL after there or whatever. And my wife uses emojis. I don't understand emoji. I'm emoji challenged, right? But here's the thing: if you do a video with a mask on, or you talk to somebody with a mask on, you can't tell. Somebody said hello to me at a club the other night. Todd, the foundation room is back open. I was there on Saturday night, and one of the people I know very well says hello. And, they had a mask on, so I couldn't tell who the heck it was.
Oh, no.
Right? They pulled the mask down. Are you running into that? It just drives me nuts. But I did get to a great concert. I got to go to see Dierks Bentley over the weekend. And that was a great show.
Right.
Open air, no masks. If you wanted to wear one, fine. But we were right up front. Great show there at 5 Point Amphitheater. Foundation Room at the House of Blues last Saturday night.
Epic.
We're back out. We're back living, even though it's California. Washington, are you living in Washington, Todd? Is life there?
We are. We're starting to get some liberties here in Washington. Effective today, we have a mask mandate indoors now.
So when you're at your own office or house, you have to put a mask on, or is it public places only?
If you're isolated in your own office away from people, you can work without a mask. But if you move to another cubicle with people, or you're in a public space, you are required to wear a mask.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's just, I guess they require, I got to wear a shirt because I would scare people. So maybe they say my face might scare people too. I think in California, we're at over 1,000 people. You have to have a mask on. But I digress. We've got a lot to talk about. So we're going to get at it with our friend Todd Halterman, chatting about how do we disinherit the IRS. We're going to talk about that. 3 wealth tax guard program. Don't even know what that is, but I bet Todd does. What do experts say about today's housing market? We'll chat about that one. And we've got a lot more to chat with you about. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Building your future wealth starts now. Take action and put your money to work for you instead of working for your money. Are you sitting on $100,000 of home equity? Realty Pro 100 has your solution. Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder program may increase your net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 or more per year. Learn more about the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder program by texting My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. License DRE 02059058.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com. Are you a military veteran, first responder, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, then you're a Ron Siegel VIP hero and you may qualify for rewards up to $5,000 to $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with a Ron Siegel radio partner. As a valued VIP hero, you receive special savings, rebates, and valuable discounts. Learn more by calling me, Ron Siegel, at 1-800-306-1990 or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. It's just our way of saying thank you.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Yes, they do have the debt consolidation loan, if you haven't looked into it. And they also have the mortgage insurance rescue loan. Mortgage insurance rescue loan. Give me a call about that one as well. Dow Jones now up 275 points. The NASDAQ is up 212 points. The S&P 500 up 44 points. 10-year Treasury, the yield is down 1 basis point. Mortgage-backed securities, that bond is up 2 basis points, which means interest rates are down ever so slightly. But why is all of that happening? That's what we look for on Ron Siegel Radio. The why. Anybody can tell you the what. There's people that you need to talk to that can help with the why. So that's what we are chatting about here. Let's look and see if we can figure it out for you. The existing home sales tracks closings on existing homes increased by 2% in July at 5.99 million unit annualized pace. Supply was down 12% year over year, and the median existing home price was $359,900 in July, a 17.8% rise from a year ago. Now, remember, existing home sales. What does that tell you about your house? Absolutely nothing. So existing home sales tells us what, and that, again, that's a national number. So right here in Orange County, California, I've told you before, about $836,000 is our median home price. But it tells you the mix of properties selling. It does not tell you the value of your home. So median means that exactly half the homes sold in the reporting period were below that $359,900, half were above. We know that the homes that are under $250,000, if you can find one, they're not selling as quickly or they're not available, so there's no minimal sales. Homes over $750,000 are selling rapidly. So that'll move the mix up. When the mix goes up, the median goes up. That's why we want to look at the FHFA numbers more than we want to look at the median home sales numbers. So that's just a piece of the puzzle there for you. Let's see what else is going on. And when we look at some of the mix, one of the things that we see is we have to dig into that a little bit. First-time home buyers accounted for 30% of sales, down from 31%. Cash buyers remain stable at 23%, but it is up from 16% last year. Investors purchased 15% of the homes, up from 14%. And investors may be crowding out first-time home buyers as they're likely to purchase the lower-priced homes that they can rent out because we know what's happening with rents. They're skyrocketing. We'll talk about that in a minute. That is the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And once again, we welcome our friend Todd Halterman, the world renowned Todd Halterman. And that, you're international, right, Todd? You're not was Washington and Idaho, and now you're going into other parts of the world to help people.
More like an international man of mystery.
There we go.
Yeah,
So,
Central America is a beautiful place to develop a secondary life and vacation lifestyle.
Something, you're the second person in the last week that I've heard from, so may have to take a look at that. But hey, I saw in our show notes something about Alpha 3 Wealth Tax Guard Program.
You bet.
What the heck is that?
Well, our firm, Alpha 3 Wealth Management, has a tax guard program that allows people to not pay taxes when they sell their real estate or businesses. So we've got a process that we follow with trust attorneys and accountants that allow them to not pay taxes at closing and keep control of their cash for future use in enterprise or just liquid investments, if you will.
So explain that a little bit. Not to pay tax at closing. What kind of opportunities is there for that? Are you talking about?
I'll give you a real quick example of one that was done here recently. We had somebody that had purchased a real estate asset in California, and they bought it as a home for $1 million, and it was 21 years ago. That same home sold for $5 million. So the estimated tax on the gain of that asset was going to be around $1.4 million, capital gains tax, both at the state level and the federal level. What we were able to do for that family is not pay the $1.4 million in tax. That family was able to keep all that cash at closing in a trust account and then shift their life from California to Idaho with literally $1.5 million, set up their entire life in Idaho to live, which basically moved them up there. And the rest of the money is sitting in the trust account, and they're basically living on interest off of that money. So they're looking for some other investment opportunities, but they haven't presented themselves yet. But when they do, they don't have to shift their money into like investments. They can hold it in different corporate structure and have it be creditor protected. So it does several things, but the bottom line is they didn't pay $1.4 million at closing.
You gotta love that. I mean, not paying that money in closing, and it's kind of so for a simple man like me, and I know it's not this simple, but I can kind of associate that to the way my 401k or IRA would be, where I've got this asset that's growing, and I don't have to pay taxes on it until sometime in the future.
That's correct. And it's
but in your case,
deferred.
it's like maybe sometime in the future.
Right. It tax defers it, but it doesn't lock you into illiquid assets. So in many cases, I'm finding people later in life that don't want the toilets, tenants, and trash, and they want access to cash, more capital in case something happens to them. And they're simplifying their life, but instead of getting an average of 3% on their money in rent, they're getting 6% in income, and all the money's in cash. So it presents a lot of opportunities for people that are not wanting to pay tax at closing and use that money to live on or to compound and defer for 20 years.
So is this an expensive process, the expense side of this? I mean, I would assume it's going to be less expensive than 1.4 million in taxes.
Yeah. Well, the value there is really amazing, because for about 1% of the transaction size, we can have a legal team and an accounting team actually execute setting up your corporate structure. So instead of 30 to 40 and sometimes 40+% in tax at closing, we're seeing people pay 1% to the trust team to help them set up proper structure. And then, Ron, it's about 1 to 1.5% a year in administrative expense to be able to manage that entity with and for them. But if you do the math, 1% up front and then 1 to 1.5% on an ongoing basis, it takes 30 years plus before you'd ever catch up to what you'd have paid in tax on that day.
Wow. So how safe is the money that's being set aside?
Well, that's a good question, Ron, because in our tax guard process, people assess what they want to do with their capital, whether they want to reinvest it later in real estate or businesses, or if they want to keep it liquid. And upon those decisions, they get to decide where they want to allocate their funds. So if you're somebody who likes low income housing and you want to wait and get an opportunity there, you can. If you're somebody that wants CDs, you can use CDs. So it really depends on the people and how they want to build their life and build their plan. But they do know what they want to do is defer tax and not pay it at closing so they can use it on something else.
So it almost sounds to me like it's very similar to the self-directed IRAs.
It really operates very similarly to that in many different facets, but it is considered an intermediary installment sale trust. That's the legal term of the entity. But really what the tax guard process is designed to do is help somebody set up a corporate structure for their family that's creditor protected. It can be divorce proof. There can be many benefits to setting up these assets for high net worth and high income families for estate planning purposes as well. But the bottom line is the thrust of why people look at it in the first place is, I don't want to pay $1.4 million in tax at closing. I'd love to know how to hang on to that and use it for future.
How do we define high net? Well, I guess we're gonna have to do that when we come back. High net worth probably in California means anybody that owns any kind of real estate. But I'm going to ask Todd Halterman that when we come back, and I'm going to actually put Todd on the spot because I had a meeting last week with somebody that, he's 60 some years old and might want to sell his business, and maybe we can save him some money and put together a program. So we're going to talk to Todd when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're going to also chat about what do experts say about today's mortgage rates. And I don't know, I might have to try and find a featured home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. I don't think I've even looked for one, but we'll see if we can find it. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
What's your plan to beat inflation and protect and build your future wealth? If you're not sure, and if you would like to learn the secret of building wealth by utilizing your current assets with little or no risk, Realty Pro 100 has your solution. Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder Program may increase your net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 or more per year. Learn more about the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder Program by texting My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. License DRE 02059058.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you own a luxury home or planning to purchase one? If so, your home may be your largest asset, but your mortgage may also be your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team is offering amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates in the 3%, and 15-year rates in the 2s. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com or call me directly. My number is 800-306-1990. Licensed under NMLS 217037. Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694552.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. What do experts say about mortgage rates? That's today's subject of today's real-time real estate segment, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Mortgage rates are hovering near record lows, and that's good news for today's home buyers. I'm going to show you a graph. Actually, Josh is going to show you a graph right now dating back to 2016 and where today falls by comparison as far as mortgage rates. So take a look at where they are. Generally speaking, when rates are low, you can afford more home for your money. That's why experts across the country agree today's low rates present buyers with an incredible opportunity. Here's what they have to say. Sam Cotter, chief economist at Freddie Mac, points out the historic nature of today's rates. As the economy works to get back to its pre-pandemic self and the fight against COVID-19 variants unfolds, homeowners and buyers continue to benefit from some of the lowest mortgage rates of all time, unquote. Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, talks about how rates impact a buyer's bottom line. Quote, mortgage rates are generally the same across the country, so a decline in mortgage rates boosts affordability equally in each market, unquote. Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, also notes the significance of today's low rates and urges buyers to carefully consider their timing. Quote, those who haven't yet taken advantage of low rates to buy a home or refinance still have the opportunity to do so this summer, unquote. Hale goes on to say that buyers who don't act soon could see higher rates in the coming months, negatively impacting their purchasing power. We expect mortgage rates to fluctuate near historic lows through the summer before beginning to climb this fall, unquote. And while mortgage rates are still low today, the data from Freddie Mac indicates rates are fluctuating ever so slightly right now, as they moved up 1 week before inching slightly back down in their latest release. It's important to keep in mind the influence rates have on your monthly mortgage payment. Even small increases can have a big impact on what you pay each month. Trust the experts. Today's rates give you opportunity and flexibility in what you can afford. Don't wait on the sidelines and hope for a better rate to come along. The rates we're seeing today are worth capitalizing on. And as I report to you every week on Thursday, the mortgage rates, if I can find them, I'm sure I've got them in my notes here somewhere, but the mortgage rates, as they were noted in the report here, did come back down a little bit. So they were at, and when I say a little bit, very little bit. So when Freddie Mac reported on the 12th of August, we were at 2.87. But hey, take a look at this one. August 5th, 2.77. Jumped to 2.87 on August 12th. August 19th, down a little bit to 2.86. So you can see they're already starting to fluctuate, just like they've mentioned in the report. Bottom line, mortgage rates over near record lows today. I don't know what they're going to be tomorrow, but today they are. But experts forecast they'll rise in coming months. Waiting could prove costly when that happens. Let's connect today to discuss rates and determine if now is the time to buy. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Continue our conversation with Todd Halterman. We're talking about, he has these fancy names for the things that he works on. I'm a simple guy, and I like the name that I adopted from Todd. It was his idea. disinherit the IRS. I give full credit to Todd. He's the one that came up with the slogan "disinherit the IRS." But now that he's moved on to bigger and better, I might be able to
disinherit the IRS is a wonderful moniker, and it is the thrust of it. But it's not forever. It does defer the tax, but you don't have to pay it at closing. You can use that money to support your life.
So one of the things I wanted to chat with you about, Todd, is kind of defining a little bit for the simple guy, me. How do you define? I mean, I know when you're talking about qualified investors and things like that, there are certain things that that FINRA and the other associations require us to use as a qualified investor.
Sure.
When you talked earlier about high net worth, I mean, to a guy that has absolutely nothing, high net worth is a guy that's got $100 in his pocket.
Well, it depends, because the higher your net worth and the higher your income, usually the higher tax issues that you have. But let's be real. Simple is better, and sometimes people don't qualify to do a tax guard process or program because it's not necessary, or it doesn't really meet appropriate designations from a fiduciary standard to help them with it. And I would say 25% of the time we use different strategies to help people mitigate their taxes, not this tax guard process, but this one is by and large our most active program in America, and there are literally hundreds of $1 million being sold in real estate right now and benefiting from using good financial planning.
You know, and that's you listen on the news and you hear some of the interesting individuals, I'll just put it that way, who are constantly saying, pay your fair share. How do you define that? I mean, over your life, in order for you to get to being determined, most of us were not born high net worth, right? I mean, you think about Bill Gates, he dropped out of college. Yeah, it was Harvard, but he dropped out, right? And there's others have talked about how their struggles to get to where they are. And then you hear certain individuals say, well, they haven't paid their fair share, but we don't necessarily know how to take advantage of the law, the way the law has been written, until you talk to an expert like Todd. I mean, that's the whole issue right there.
What's happened, though, is America's by and large been built on real estate. So you have the modest investor who's owned a piece of real estate since 1978, who's now in a position they don't want to mess with it anymore, and they want to simplify their life. But they only have $30,000 a year in income because they live off of that and some modest rent that they get. So it's not just for the wealthy. The challenge is high net worth means you have a high capital gain on your transaction. If you have more than a $500,000 gain on a transaction that you're going to sell a piece of real estate or business, that starts putting you in the high net worth category. If your income is over $140,000 on top of that capital gain, you're going to be in the 40% tax category at closing, not to mention the other excise taxes that it brings into your life.
That's pretty, and when you think about that may, depending upon your age, right, it may or may not be you. But hey, you know something? Maybe it's your mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, and they don't know about these strategies. And just because you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, and maybe you're listening to us on the radio this afternoon, ABC News and Talk AM 1490, right? You might be able to say, hey, do you know about these strategies? Maybe you need to go back to Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube or ronsiegelradio.com. First tab has the radio archives. And usually by about 6 in the afternoon here in Southern California, those shows are up on the archives. But maybe your mom or dad, you're 60 years old, 65 years old, and you're tired, right? And you've been working hard. And everybody has a different definition. My son says working hard is working about 4 or 5 hours a day. You know, I say half day. To me, that's about 12 hours. So everyone has a different definition of working hard. But maybe you're in that category and you're saying, you know something? I built a great business and I'm tired and I'm ready to turn it over to somebody else. Maybe you're working it for 20, 25 years. And I'm not going to use exact numbers, names, people to protect the innocent, but I'm going to throw this at my friend Todd here. So Todd, I had a consultation last week, and all of the numbers that I'm going to give you are fake to the extent that they're not precise. But for educational purposes, and remember, we're not giving anybody any kind of professional advice. We're giving education here. If you want professional advice, give me a call, 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with Todd Halterman and his team. But Todd, say I've worked my whole life, or maybe not even my whole life. Maybe it's a second or third career. I mean, you're a perfect example, right? Military, you started out, went to continue serving as a paramedic and then helping in financial services, right? Maybe that's somebody else. Maybe that's you, right? So maybe you started a business in 2000, 2005, and now you're 2021, and you've got a business that, might be valued at $10 million. Let's just throw that number out there. And, you figure that if you're making that, if you've got a business valued at $10 million, you might be making good money. Might be in let's call it a 40% tax bracket, Todd. Is that fair?
Very fair.
So you sell that business for $10 million, 40% tax bracket means you're getting ready to give Uncle $4 million. He didn't even give you a birthday present. Is there something we can do there? Does that qualify as a high net worth individual?
Yeah, that might be at that level, sure. The average program across America is close to 5 million today because of the condition of real estate, and people want options, so they're not paying that tax.
So we've got a business here that's going to sell for 10, probably looking at 4 million in taxes. What's our next step? Obviously, we've got to call Todd Halterman, but what's our next step after that?
The next step really is to find out if they qualify for the value of utilizing it. So we do a quick deep dive for somebody. We collect 1 page of information about their needs and their transaction. And we do that with a 10-minute chat on the telephone, Ron. We try to value people's time, and we don't want them waiting for weeks to figure out if it's something that'll work for them or not. So you can get a 10-minute chat with our team to define some information so we can put you through some software to test your deal and do some side-by-side comparisons to compare to outright sale or following the tax guard process to establish a corporate structure for your family. And that process generally takes 3 to 4 weeks, but we've been able to do it in as little as 8 to 10 days in urgent situations.
Wow. A 10-minute call. So let me ask this simple question, right? Is it worth 10 minutes of your time to potentially, I don't know if it's going to work, potentially save $4 million? I don't know how much money you make, but I don't know too many people. 10 minute, $4 million in a 10-minute call, that's $24 million an hour. Right? That's a decent amount of money. I'm going to suggest that might be worth your time. But we're going to continue on with this conversation with Todd Halterman, see where we would go from there after that 10-minute call. When we come back, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. Got a featured home. We're going to bring that to you as well when we come back. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
If you're listening to this program, building personal wealth is a topic you're familiar with, and you probably understand that making money is about creating a high income from a high-paying job or running a business, while building wealth, on the other hand, is about creating a stock of value that goes up over time. You've also probably noticed lately that prices for fuel, groceries, and raw materials are skyrocketing, while your monthly income remains flat. Welcome to Inflation 101. One of the fastest growing wealth building strategies is utilizing your current assets with little or no risk, like the equity in your home. Realty Pro 100 has been helping people like you increase their net worth by $50,000 to $75,000 per year. Now's the time to put your money to work for you and beat inflation. Learn more and start building your wealth by contacting Realty Pro 100. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. Text My Wealth Builder to 79564. Receive free information on how the Realty Pro 100 Wealth Builder program works and if it's the right wealth building strategy for you. License DRE 02059058.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rate. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments, paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavouritelender.net, myfavouritelender.net, 8245 East Alpine Court, Anaheim Hills. Stunning. Get ready to fall in love with this gorgeous move-in ready home that offers 3 bedrooms plus a loft plus a downstairs office den, optional 4th bedroom. Just have to add the closet. Step inside and note the solid surface barn wood style tile flooring, a remodeled gourmet kitchen with white quartz countertops, mosaic tiles backsplash, all new appliances and custom cabinets. Upstairs, explore the master bedroom with a newly remodeled spa-worthy ensuite bathroom with a standalone tub, glass shower enclosure, and dual quartz vanity. Look at that. It's a beautiful looking property. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, you're seeing this property. It's a Melinda Johnson listing. $899,000 is the list price. 10% down, you're looking at $35.22 a month. 20% down, $31.30 a month. 25% down, strategically speaking, $27.53 a month. You have to add the taxes, insurance, HOA, mortgage insurance if there is any. So you're looking at a lot of good, not a lot of money here for an $899,000 list price. But for those of you that are keeping score, compliance people, I know you're there. 3.465 APR, 3.299 APR, and 2.958 APR, NMLS 217037. That is the featured home brought to you by myfavouritelender.net. Hey, go on there and grab the mobile app. It's a great, great mobile app. Best one I know of. But 8245 East Alpine Court, Anaheim Hills, Melinda Johnson listing. Check it out. Continuing our conversation, Todd Halterman is in the house. We are chatting with him about now this. I haven't had a tease like this in a long time. We're talking to Todd about saving $4 million. Could you imagine having a conversation with somebody about saving $4 million?
It's
so
real.
you missed the setup of this. You missed a lot, but you're going to have to check it out because it is in the prior segment. It'll be posted today sometime around Oh, it'll be about 6 o'clock this afternoon. Josh usually has these things posted on ronsiegelradio.com. But so Todd, we've saved four. Now we were selling our business for 10. We were contemplating a $4 million sale. That means here's a couple of concepts. First off, that means the seller was anticipating a net of $6 million. There might be some costs or things in there, but they were looking at a net of $6 million. What if you sold your business now at 9 and saved that? You still come out ahead and you gave somebody a better deal of a 10% discount. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but it might. Would it help you sell your business faster if that's your goal? Right? Those are all parts of it. Now, Todd, once we get to the point of having this $4 million that we've saved, so now we've got $10 million that we're going to put into this trust, and I don't want to get into all the fancy the details of it. That we'll leave for you. But you got $10 million to put in there. You said that you're getting like a potentially no guarantees, like a 6% return on that.
Yeah, I'll give you the last example. I'm just giving you a case example of somebody we're in the middle of helping right now, Ron, and they have $1.5 million in 4 pieces of real estate that bring in rent minus expenses, and their net income from those assets that are worth $1.5 million is 3.3%. So this person, we helped set up their corporate structure. They've now since sold 4 pieces of property, and the proceeds from the sales were in that trust. And that $1.5 million, they paid no taxes at closing, and their income coming in on that now is almost double what they were getting before. They're getting around a 6% income off of that same asset, but now it's not in real estate; it's liquid in a managed account that's managed similar to a pension. So, but it's liquid. And so what they've allowed themselves to do is increase their income and reduce having to worry about tenants, toilets, and trash. They've simplified their life. They can travel now, and they don't have any headaches on a monthly basis of rent collection.
And that gives me a lot of control, doesn't it? Because I can, if I decide that I want to, one of the things that I worry about is there's some transfers or programs out there that allow you to buy into a real estate trust, and you're kind of stuck in it forever until you decide to sell. And if there's no buyers out there, then you're in trouble. Is this liquid? Is it? Can I get my money if say I decide that I want to?
There's several different names for those types of programs, but you're right. They're illiquid. In fact, because they're fractional interest, they're discounted at 20% immediately, and people don't know that going in. The way that a smart person will build their corporate structure is they stay liquid. When I say liquid, that means in 72 hours, their assets could be used and deployed in a different manner. They're not locked up. When you have money in real estate, it's only liquid when you sell it or you borrow money from it. And that puts people in some different situations that are not friendly sometimes in their life. And when you're doing planning, liquidity is important.
Yeah, I talk about this all the time, that you want liquidity, you want security of your principal. You want to know that, say you fall off the curb, right? I've seen that happen many, many times. Or you need to get some sort of home health care. Well, you want to have access to that money. Now, if I access the money for living expenses, Todd, is it taxed then, or am I still getting it without the taxing?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, there's a couple different ways to do it. I'll keep this real simple for our radio show example. If you had 40% of your investment was cost basis, which means you bought that business for $4 million and then you sold it for $10 million, and you have 40% principal, 60% gain. As you take income out, you're taxed pro rata in the same manner, which means that if I took $100,000 out, 40,000 of it would not be taxed. It would be considered a return of principal. 60,000 would be at capital gains rates. But I remind people, in America today, if you keep your adjusted gross income below $81,000, it's 0% capital gains tax. So we can, what they call bracket surf, and help people try to keep those tax rates low enough so we can pay very low tax as we pull it out.
Nice. I like that. So I could sell my business and take some money and still not have to pay a massive tax hit.
No.
Now, we got one more topic, and I might go a little over on this, Josh, but we've got one more topic that I want to get to. And we don't have to get specific, Todd, but at the end of my time in this world, are there other strategies, or is it all taxed at that point?
Well, the thing is that you name beneficiaries like you do in IRA. And we also name a charitable beneficiary, because when you leave this earth, Ron, you have to leave your stuff to 3 places, but you have to pick 2. And if we name a charity in your trust organization, your family actually inherits more of the money, and the IRS literally gets disinherited from the transaction, because the IRS's portion we give to a local charity or put it into somebody's own personal family foundation that many people have. Because they like to rescue animals or they want to help kids. But it really starts with deferring the tax, helping them control when to pay it. And then for estate planning, we build corporate structure to help disinherit the IRS as much as we can so the family gets more.
I like the idea. So the family gets the money, the IRS gets their accurate share, their legal share, their minimized share. There might be our favorite charity. I love the 1199 Foundation here in California. I love a lot of different veterans organizations. Maybe you have your own favorite charity. I hope you do, right? Because there's a lot of people that can benefit from our good fortune. So I recommend a conversation with Todd Halterman and his team. See, I mean, if you're thinking about selling, before you get too far involved, let's chat with Todd. Set up a game plan. There's other folks that I know that can help with that business sale as well, that are very, very experienced in that side of it. It's a team. It's your board of directors. Have a conversation. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with every one of them. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting our house and your bank account. As always, I thank Josh and Sean, who are engineering us today, and a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your time with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.